Taking into consideration that this history of the Titans is a vast gulf for which we don't have much information, but the information that is contained, that we do have, passed on down to us, is painting a picture of humans hiding in the underworld, of humans receiving a secret from a benefactor who paid a great price. Yeah, of a system that has been implemented to blame mankind for its own condition. This is what the Greeks are conveying to us in their traditions of the Titans. This is what we find. So now things begin to make sense to us. What was this secret? I believe that we can ascertain a good idea as to what Prometheus shared with ancient man just by what we know that happened in that pre-flood period. In that pre-flood period, mankind became obsessed with countdowns. I know some of you just had a light bulb go off in your head. Countdowns. Sophisticated mathematical constructs that counted days and years to some future event when something was going to occur that was so important to humanity that this benefactor had sacrificed himself to make sure mankind got this information. And then in order to make sure that mankind could preserve this information, they encoded it in mathematical constructs that would last for eons, knowing that people would never forget a calendar. Listen, the 1,656-year pre-flood calendar of 138-year intervals of the Phoenix phenomenon is preserved in so many different ways that I have shown on my channel in my published books. I'm not going to re-itemize them here, but keep in mind this is one that's from the ancient world, and that repetition of 1656-year periods I've shown in charts goes all the way into our near future. The 600-year period of the Anunnaki neurochronology is another calendar. They were obsessed with the 600-year period, knowing that when the end of that calendar came, it began a countdown to a specific series of events. The end of that calendar was 1962. Now, they also knew that the 6,000-year cycle was prevalent. They preserved that. It's in Zoroastrian writings. We have the 6,000 years as a repetition of the 3,000 year great ages of Theopompus. The biblical 6,000 years, a day, 6 days of creation, 1 day of rest. Each day of creation in the biblical eschatology is supposed to be 1,000 years. We have the Judeo-Christian concept of a 6,000-year countdown to the return of a God to this world. Now, that's preserved. The Mayan long count calendar, never have we ever seen a mathematical construct that has been so well preserved. It's been misunderstood, but it's been reconstructed and put back together. And I've showed you this many times. 1,872,000 turnings of the stars, all the way from 3113 BC is 13 Bactans. Each one's 144,000 days. The entire Mayan long count started during this vapor canopy period, during the reign of Enoch, who is said in ancient texts to be the greatest chronologist that has ever lived. Also a mathematician and an architect. This calendar counts down to November 2046. Just like the base diagonals of the Great Pyramid's geometrical timeline, according to David Davidson in 1924, as I've shown many times, ends with the final year being 2045 and 2046 being year one of a whole new epoch. So the fascination of timekeeping systems suddenly appeared all at the same time in the ancient world. And I have charts that show you. I have whole charts that just itemize calendars and show you how they all start at the same 21-year window and all move into the future, and how most of them end right here in between 2040 and 2106 AD. Whatever Prometheus told mankind, it was something to do with fire. But the greatest architectural project the world has ever seen was also initiated during the vapor canopy, and it's the Great Pyramid. And if you remember correctly, pyramid means fire in the middle. And I do believe that that concludes my presentation. And I know some light bulbs went off in some of your heads. I have no doubt about that.